Today's chat is on how the Hyper-Achiever Saboteur is the hidden wealth block you never knew you had. Ready? So let's chat about what the Hyper-Achiever Saboteur is. We've dealt with a few saboteurs, the pleaser saboteur, the avoider saboteur, and the victim saboteur, and now we are on the hyperachiever. So in positive intelligence, the saboteurs are strengths that we have, that we developed in childhood to deal with our world, whatever was happening in our world. So we built these strengths, and then how we've started to overuse those strengths. So they turn to saboteur when they are overused. So if we look at the hyperachiever, it's really simple. A hyperachiever is someone who wants to thrive, has got the drive to thrive as well. They are willing to do what it takes to get what they want in life. Success is their ultimate goal. That is what they're going for. So if you look at my own profile in positive intelligence, it is pleaser, hyperachiever. And those two combined make me someone who wants to please others and also achieve great things, which explains a lot about me. When you learn these saboteurs, you learn to understand who you are, because again, they are also outlining your greatest strengths. As a hyperachiever, what do I want to do? I want to achieve success, and I want to be appreciated, rewarded, acknowledged for that success. When the hyperachiever becomes a saboteur and is out of balance, it is when I want to achieve success at all costs, at the cost of my health, at the cost of my relationships, at the cost of my family, at the cost of my spare time, my self-care. At its worst, it could cost me my life, because if I'm such a workaholic and so going for success, I might have a heart attack or a stroke and die. But that is when the hyperachiever is out of balance. If you're able to be in balance, you can use your hyperachiever as a strength. So let's see how it is a hidden wealth blocker. I've taken a few notes here so that I don't miss anything that I wanted to tell you today. The first way that the hyperachiever will block your wealth is this feeling, I haven't achieved success and therefore I'm not worthy. It's attaching success to your worthiness. And so you start feeling so unworthy that you're not successful, that you just decide to give it all up because it's too hard. You're just not getting there. So if it's not working for you, you haven't been successful, if you've hit a big stumbling block or obstacle on your way to success, you might start to feel that you are not worthy of anything, because success is your determining factor, right? That's what determines your value, determines your worth, instead of just knowing that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you do deserve, no matter how successful you are or not successful. A really good affirmation you could use in this case is, I know how valuable I am, intrinsically how valuable I am, and therefore there's no upper limit to what I can make now or ever, or there's no upper limit to what I can do, what I can achieve, what success I can achieve now or ever, because I know how valuable I am. Money is an intangible exchange of value. So whatever value I put out is the money I receive. So I know how valuable I am. So we're turning it on its head. Instead of saying, I'm not making enough money, therefore I'm not valuable, you can start with, I know how valuable I am. I am certain of my value. I'm 100% certain of value. And therefore there's no upper limit to what I can make now or ever. Or there is nothing I cannot achieve, because I am valuable. So start with the value, start with believing in your value, and then take it from there. The next thing that happens with hyperachievers is they're always chasing the next goal, the next goal. They never really feel wealthy enough. They want to do more and get more and have more and be more and do more. It's this constant wheel of it's never enough. That song comes to mind from This Is the Greatest Show. The song comes to mind from The Greatest Show is Never Enough, Never Enough. She sings that song about it's never enough for me. And that is the typical hyperachiever. It's never going to be enough. She can never get enough adulation. She can never get enough praise. She can never get enough success. It will never be enough for her. She could be the greatest thing the world has ever known, and it will still never be enough. That is the trap the hyperachiever can fall into. So what happens is no matter how much money they make, it never feels enough. And that creates a scarcity mindset rather than an abundance mindset. In the Science of Well-Being, Dr. Laurie Santos talks about a study that was done by Kahneman and Dean about your economic value, or how much is enough, in terms of your happiness levels. If you really want in life to be happy, how much is enough for you to be happy? In America, the number that they reached in that particular study was $75,000 a year, which is $6,250 a month. In Rand value here in South Africa, that would be almost 1.4 million Rand, around about 115,000 Rand a month. So that would be the sort of ballpark that would be enough money that you're not ever having to worry about money, that you've just got enough to carry on with your life. You're not in survival mode. You're not stressed about money. Anything above that, you will now start to have greater stresses about the money itself, and you start to stress. She's got this brilliant video, and I'll put a link to this video here, called The Unhappy Millionaire, about someone who wins the lottery, makes millions, and his whole life falls apart. And that is because when you have too much and you don't know how to handle that amount of money, it doesn't actually create more happiness. This person had a really happy life, and he won the money, and it turned his life into a not happy life, because we have to build it in increments. And also, receiving money is not the same as creating money, building income. So always chasing the next goal, never feeling wealthy. That is how the hyperachiever saboteur blocks your wealth. The next way the hyperachiever saboteur blocks your wealth is that you overwork instead of letting your money flow. So you become a workaholic. And I'm sure that many hyperachievers know this one. They believe hard work equals success, but it's actually aligned action. When you talk about the law of attraction, it's aligned action or inspired action that is required. So it's working smart, not hard. It's working joyful, inspired, and ease, joy, and flow, rather than just working yourself into a standstill. When you push too hard, you get to burnout. It leads to burnout, and it leads to exhaustion, and that might mean you will give it all up altogether. Again, it's not going to serve its purpose. So you think that working is the answer, but have a look. Think about the wealthiest person you know and how hard they work, and the least wealthy person you know, the poorest person you know, and how hard they work. Because most of the poor people in this world are working 1, 2, 3 jobs, but none of those jobs pay them appropriately, because they still have a scarcity mindset. They are working hard, but they do not have any leverage. They are not working smart, and it's not joyful. It's not a life that they want. They are just working to pay the bills. They are just working to survive. It's always a feeling of, I've got to just try and be on this hamster wheel and try and work. And hopefully one day it will change. But unfortunately, if the jobs are not paying well and you're giving all your hours to the job, it's not going to change the financial future of the person. So overworking instead of letting money flow is really just learning about aligning with your greatest strengths, aligning with what feels best to you, and seeing where that takes you. The next way that being a hyperachiever could be blocking your wealth is tying your self-worth to achievements. So if you're not successful, you have no self-worth. If you're not wealthy, you have no self-worth. If you fail, you are a failure. Fear of failing financially can cause you to take risky decisions, can make you self-sabotage, and can even make you avoid money-making opportunities because you're so afraid of failing financially that you don't even take the opportunity. Until you have some self-confidence, you're not going to become an entrepreneur, or you're not going to ask for the increase, or you're not going to realize that you're overworking and being underpaid. Those things can be avoided if your self-worth is up, if you believe in yourself. The fourth one is ignoring passive income and financial freedom. So because the hyperachiever is so focused on success and working towards success and believing that hard work equals success, they forget that there is the option of passive income and that you could actually become financially free, that you could have both time and money. What about having time and money? Hyperachievers are always thinking, I have to do more to earn more. I must do more. I must get on that hamster wheel. There's always something more that I must do. There's always something more that I must achieve. There's always another course I need to take to upskill myself to get further. The wealthiest people in the world start to let money work for them or let people work for them. There's that beautiful quote, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. So you want to start having people working for you. The typical hyperachiever is a solo entrepreneur, a solopreneur. They don't have anybody working for them because nobody can do it better than them. And so a hyperachiever can burn themselves into the ground or work themselves into the ground because they're doing it all themselves. They're wearing all the hats in their business. I've heard a lot of people say that the quickest way to success is to have people working for you. So how can you do this without having to pay anybody any money? Well, the best way to do that is to have your entrepreneurial venture be a network marketing or direct selling venture where you can leverage off a system where you can introduce people who are all building their own thing. So they're not working for you, they're working for themselves. But because you've introduced them, you also earn a cut from what they're earning. It's the perfect system. That's how you can leverage your time and buy back your time so that you've got both money and time and start building a recurring monthly income stream. The other thing that hyperachievers do is they focus on short-term wins instead of long-term wealth. So they might be looking for the get-rich-quick schemes of the world. They might be going for bonuses, promotions, business growth. They might try to get to reach the success thing. They want to just get that award at the end of the month, but they're not thinking long-term what is going to make them really, really successful. True wealth comes from having a long-term strategy. True wealth isn't made in a minute or a month or 10 days. It is made in years of doing the right thing, consistent effort, creating multiple income streams. That is where true wealth comes from. Putting in time and effort over a consistent time, believing that you're going to be wealthy in the end. So how are you going to shift from the hyperachiever saboteur mindset to becoming a wealth magnet? Let's see how you can do that. First thing you want to do is you want to shift from this hustle culture to the idea of flow. So instead of hustling for your money and just doing a little bit of here, there, everywhere, you want to work smarter and not harder, which means you need to leverage. That means you need to leverage your time and you need to leverage your money. The second thing you want to do is detach yourself from money. So you are valuable without needing constant achievement. The easiest way to do that is to celebrate every little success that you have, because that's what you want. That's what your ego wants, right? So you celebrate it. You celebrate every little slap along the way. You don't need to wait for that target that you're going for somebody to come and slap you on the back and say you're fantastic. You celebrate every little success that you make along the way. Today, if you did the thing that you set out to achieve today, and it's not about whether that thing had a success, your target isn't the end goal. Your target is the actions that you're going to take to get there. That is a little secret tip that I learned. There was another study that was done. The test was done on people who were doing exams, and the people who looked and visualized the success, the end result, the success of them getting a great grade at the end of this exam, those people did not do as well as the people who visualized their steps along the way, saw themselves studying for the exam, saw themselves working towards the exam, saw themselves sitting in the exam room and writing all the correct answers. Those little steps along the way, if you start visualizing the steps that you have to take that will help you achieve things, and then celebrating each step that you take that is going to help you achieve what you want to achieve, rather than just that hollow success that you get at the end when you have achieved success. Because how many times have you got to that success and you have just felt like, oh, okay, well, now what's next? Because that's what the hyperachiever does. They get to like, oh yeah, okay, I wanted to get to 10,000 Rand a month income, or $10,000 a month income, or whatever it is. And then they reach that level and they go, oh, now I need to get to the next level. And I need to get to the next level. I need to get to the next thing. This kind of hollow victory. Whereas if you're looking at it as being the things that you do to get there are the exciting things, the moments, the little exciting moments that you can celebrate along the way of you actually being in action, taking those action steps. That if you are enjoying the process, if you're not enjoying the process, you're in the wrong job. You're in the wrong thing. It's got to be enjoyable, because otherwise you won't have the happiness. Even if you reach the $75,000 income, the happiness comes from you being in your life, enjoying this moment right now. The next step from how to shift from hyperachiever to wealth magnet is you want to embrace passive income and smart investments. Embrace passive income, make money work for you, make people work for you, leverage your time and your money. And then celebrate abundance now. Be grateful for what you have right now. As a hyperachiever, you can tend to forget to feel grateful and to celebrate those small wins, as I was talking about earlier. If you were grateful for what you had right now, you would be able to have more of it. When you do achieve something, when you do, as a hyperachiever, get some success, acknowledge that moment. Go and take yourself out for a celebration. Go and experience what it really feels like to have it. Splurge on yourself. Whatever it takes, do something that makes you feel like all of it was worth it. Everything that you put in was worth it. Because if you don't, it's a hollow victory. And gratitude, being grateful for what you have is what attracts more wealth to you. It's what attracts more goodness to you. If you are grateful for this moment right now, you get the next moment. If you're grateful for this $5 in your bank account right now, you can increase that $5 to $10 and to $10,000. Be grateful for every little penny that comes into your account, and be grateful for every success that you have along the way. And then the big successes will mean more. So I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gave you some insight into what the Hyper-Achiever Saboteur is all about. It's very hard to think of the Hyper-Achiever as a saboteur rather than a strength, because it is a good thing to be determined, to be goal-orientated, to have goals and go for them and be driven and achieve them. But I can see where the Hyper-Achiever moves into saboteur. It's when it starts creating unhappiness, ill health, and poor relationships. So let me know in the comments whether you've ever seen your hyperachiever saboteur pushing you to the point of burnout, ill health, any kind of ill health that you might have experienced, failed relationships, or misery, unhappiness. If your hyperachiever has done that, please, you need to get this in check. The best way to do that is through the Positive Intelligence Program. Come and join me in the Positive Intelligence Program if you're a hyperachiever. I've realized that the 4 ladies that I have with me currently in the Positive Intelligence program who are with me for a year. Every single one of us, including me, so I'm the 5th one, we all have hyperachiever as one of our top 3 saboteurs. We are a bunch of hyperachievers, and I guess then that I attract hyperachievers. So I'm inviting you now, hyperachievers, to come and join me in the program. It will help you if you don't know how to deal with this saboteur, if you don't know how to calm this saboteur, if you don't know how to weaken this saboteur, the Positive Intelligence program will help you do that. So I look forward to seeing you in the program. If you want to come and have a chat with me, I have opened up my calendar for Zoom calls. Have a chat with me first, and then we can take it from there. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, please pop a like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can see when my next video drops. Thanks very much for being here. Have a beautiful day. Go calmly. Ease, joy, and flow is the name of the game. And just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I know how valuable I am, and therefore there's no upper limit to what I can make now or ever. I know how valuable I am, and therefore I can achieve anything I ever dreamed of achieving. Start with the value first. Bye for now.